As inspired by Deku's heroism, the young generation of UA heroes pour in to make the last stand against All for One. When none of All for One's allies are with him, the heroes unite to shield Deku and take the battle to All for One. Todoroki and his father Endeavor have also joined the fight, as Kurogiri's warp gate transports them into the battle zone. Aizawa is surprised to learn that Deku gave up One for All during his battle against Shigaraki, but Deku assures him that just like it happened with All Might in his final battle against All for One, remnants of the legendary quirk are still within Deku. Cue the dying ember in the snowstorm imagery. Deku can still use One for All, which is the only way of taking down All for One for good. On the other hand, All for One feels empty, as his sole motivation for acquiring One for All to connect with the vestige of his brother, Yoichi, has failed. Earlier, his schemes had a specific purpose and direction, which was lost the moment he realized he would not be able to reunite with his brother. All for One is just an aimless monstrosity now, who wants to annihilate everything in his path, and once again making the mistake of underestimating the young heroes, he launches a vicious attack. A battered-up Deku limps his way to the battle and is overwhelmed upon realizing everyone has put so much trust in him. Not only heroes, but even commoners have tried to help Deku in any way they can, as Aizawa brings clothes and medication that people have offered Deku as a gesture to help their hero. Deku can almost hear the collective cry of the people across the globe who are trying to cheer him up and carry on the battle. Aoyama, whom Deku once helped when everyone turned their backs, helps Deku to get back on his feet and spring back into action. All the present 1A students of UA High, Momo, Tenya, Kirishima, Tsuyu, Kaminari, Hagakure, Tokoyami, and even Mineta show an inspiring example of teamwork to tank all for One's attacks to protect Deku and give him a chance to charge up an attack powerful enough to take down the supervillain. Their supreme act of sacrifice is witnessed by the world, proud parents of the young heroes who watch their children giving their everything in the good fight, a spectacle that will inspire generations to come. All for One finally realizes the truth that Deku is not like All Might, a symbol of hope, or an all-powerful, dependable savior, but instead is a vulnerable hero who sees good in everyone and never gives up, allowing others to relate to him and get inspired to action. The world reverberates in unison as everyone chants, "Do your best to uplift Deku's spirit." A heavily injured Uravity is moved to tears seeing how her Deku has been able to inspire everyone in the decisive battle. All Might recalls the day he met Deku for the first time. He proudly mentions that back then, the quirkless kid's bravery and heroism inspired him as well. Right at this moment, Deku feels like All Might while hearing the inspiring chants as One for All courses through his veins, and he lands a super-powered punch on All for One. All for One realizes his folly of underestimating the unity of the heroes and underestimating the past 9 vestiges who have affected Shigaraki's body and spirit to weaken All for One's vessel from within. Deku's punch nearly disintegrates All for One, but the Demon Lord makes a ferocious, last-ditch attempt to thwart the heroes. All for One desperately tries to make one of the heroes his new vessel to cling to his power and continue his maddening pursuit of world domination. Right at the moment, Shirakumo's consciousness awakens in Kurogiri, who was alive for the sole purpose of protecting Shigaraki. Yamada and Aizawa are moved seeing their old friend making a return for the final time to help Deku to land another attack on All for One, and even Bakugo lends a helping hand by charging Deku's attack through his explosive propulsion. While landing a finishing blow on All for One, Deku reveals he knows All for One is not just a power-hungry, fearsome, heartless villain. Despite the viciousness of All for One's actions, Deku recognizes him as a lonely man who wanted to reconnect with his brother, Yoichi, the only person who believed in his capacity for goodness. All for One's twisted worldview, narcissism, and selfishness prompted him to attempt a reconnection in a horrid way, but still, his motivation came from quite a personal space, from the love he had for his little brother, whom he wanted to keep with him forever. In his psychic space, we see All for One in his most emotionally vulnerable self when he realizes Deku has ensured that Yoichi's vestige remains alive in Shigaraki's body for long enough to let his elder brother reunite with him, even if it is for the briefest moment. All for One lets go of all his fearsome antics and world-dominating motivations the moment he sees the glowing orb-like vestige of Yoichi speaking with him and becomes desperate to look at his brother's face for the last time. However, it's too late for All for One to make amends, as the rest of the One for All vestiges lunge towards him just as Deku delivers the finishing blow. Karma has caught up with the fiercest supervillain, but for what it's worth, he gets to say to his brother, Yuchi, how much he loves him, for the first and last time in his life. No resurrections, no revival this time around, as All for One is truly finished with Deku's final blow. Kurogiri Shanosha's Shirakumo disintegrates, knowing that for the final time, Shigaraki has appeared in the psychic space from where All for One is gone forever. Shigaraki, now seemingly at peace, thanks Deku for holding on to hope, even for him who never really had any control over any of his actions and got puppeteered by All for One throughout his life. Deku reveals he wanted to stop Shigaraki in his self-destructive journey. Before disintegrating out of existence, Shigaraki asked Deku to relay his message to his most trusted ally, Spinner, that he fought to destroy society till the end. Bidding farewell to Kurogiri and the fading vestige of his grandma, Nana Shimura, Shigaraki disappears forever. The sun shines bright as Deku's blow is seen to have obliterated All for One and his quirk out of existence. Deku's raised fist unknowingly mimics All Might's iconic pose, instilling courage and hope in everyone watching in amazement at their victorious champion. And that's the end of this episode.